Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mendix Widget Workshop. This is the final part of our three-part series on dynamic property types. In the previous episode, we covered expression, text template, and action in part 1, attribute, data sources, and selection in part 2. If you missed those, make sure to check them out first. Now, let's dive into the final three property types object, file, and association. These are super handy when you are working with more complex entity relationship or file handling in your custom widget. Let's get started. So first we will start with reference or association. So here in our widget.xml file, we will define first the data source property. After that we will define the association property. So for property, then key data source. After that type data source, then is list equals to true. After that, copy the two caption and description. Close the property tag. Here, select table object. Copy this property again. And paste. Here we will give key association, and here we give ref as a key. Remove the list. And here we will use select table objects equals to this data source. Here ref, and we need to define the association type. So association types, close association types tag. Inside the association types, we will define association type. Name equals to reference. We have two types of association in Mendix, reference and reference set. Save this file and go dynamic property 3.js, and here copy these two. First simple console.log, and after that click save this file and run npm run with the command. Get the error .xml file. I think we have missed something here. Key property and key property types. Here, what incorrect file dynamic? Please check one close tagline number 17. Here, we have missed the property group close index. Property group close. Save this file again, run and do build command. Now go to Mendix, synchronize your directory. So here we have a put a data grid. Inside data grid, we have one data view and a list view. In the global model, I have created two expressions. One is one to many, another is many to many. One to many called reference and many to many called reference set. So here we are using the Mendix Mendix default widgets. Now here we use our own widgets. So drag and drop here and here update all widgets. Open here select the association country and here I will select the teachers. So before using our widget, the result look like this. Teacher's name has multiple and country name is single country name. So remove these two widgets. Save and run. Here we can see there is no data. So go to inspect. Inside the inspect, here we can see three objects. And here you can see three objects as well. Here is only one object is showing. So now we need to show these objects in our widgets. So go to the widgets, go to dynamic property dot tsx file. Here first remove this span and create a state const selectable objects or selected object. Set selected objects first to use state of object item of array and empty array is default value. Import object item from Mendix. After that, you use effect hook. Inside use effect check if data source dot status equals string equals to value status dot available. If available, then we will check if ref dot type equals to reference. If reference type has reference, then we will have only one object. So get this object by using first we will declare the global variable of mx, declare const mx type any. After that here mx dot data dot get inside this we need to pass GUID of the object. So we will get ref dot value dot id. After that we have callback function, callback function as object of type any. Here create an object const result equals to in id we are going to store object dot id object dot get GUID function returns a object id comma and attribute name. We are going to store the value of the attribute. So object dot get my attribute name is name. Here we can see in the DOM model the attribute name is name. And now after that set this object in the selected objects array. So how to do this? First we will structure the old array data array value selected objects comma results. So we need to here any. So any then divide this. After that and else we will use this copy and paste it here and in instead of GUID we use GUIDs. Here in my head one we will get a list of objects. So we will pass the reference dot value dot map and obj. I think the reference dot value should work. So here we will get an array of objects. In this we are going to loop through this object. So objects dot map here object of type any arrow function inside this arrow function copy these two lines and paste it here. Obj dot get GUID and here instead of this we are only save the result. Here we will get one object at a time and store in the result array. After that, we store this result array into selected objects state. Now we will show this in our UI. So selected objects dot length greater than 0, and then if length is greater than 0, then execute next code. So after that, selected objects dot map air data type any function return a paragraph type. Here that we will give a key for unit the ID, and here we will show the value data dot name. Click on save. I think we are done. So when your implement the command, here even that now that you will browser window page. So I think we are getting some error. Let's check. Cannot read properties of type undefined. Okay, let's see how's the issue. F dot type. Okay, so here we need to add some dependency. So we have dot status comma data source dot status. Save and run again and will build command. Go to Mendix, run your app again. Open our browser. And then we are still getting errors. So now cannot see properties of undefined status. Okay, let's check again. So I think I have figured out the issue. Go to the property action file. Here, change this none to reference and copy this name. Save this file and replace all the web to reference. And also here add a map function and here obj type of object item. And also add object item from index. Then have a obj dot id. Save this file and run npm build. So here just added question mark. Save file again. Then run again. Go to Mendix, synchronize your battery, right click on here, update all widget. Now start classification again, country and features and run your app. Open browser, open this. Here we can see the country and the list of teachers. These are the details coming from our widget. So we have successfully learned how to use association and how to sort data using associations. Now next property is object. So go to VS Code, go to XML file and add this property, copy this property and then paste it. After that, write this code and then type should be object and key my object and it is left to yes caption my object list. Here we can change key to key and value. And we can change the type string for to remove need this description. Where type value and here type key. Save this file and here my object. Now first run a command and build so that the error is gone. Now again write a use effect or there if my object of status my object then console dot now my object in the array dependency my object. So first we will see in what format the data is coming. Go to Mendix, synchronize the directory, update all widgets. Here this is the object where we can click on new. So we are giving URL key agent, value agent, localhost 50. Click on OK. Okay. Now I will remove this widget for now and run your app. Go to browser and go to spare console. Where we can see array. In the form of array, the data is coming. Now we will show this data and type here with tag key span tag and the value to that again it gave inside the string my object is not map to limit type any return this instead of the I will use object dot key instead of value. I will use this object dot value. You can copy this key or value from here. Key is equal to key and value equal to value. Now I'm going to give some style. This is the next and there one minute. And we give a style. This style there. Now we give this language. So now the battery we don't need a new map within the object. So here we can see key value, key URL and value localhost. So we have successfully learned the second property called object. Now the remaining property is file. So again, go to your widget.xml file and here use property file, key file, type file, and required files, caption, and remember description. Save and go to the file console.log file. First, we will see in what format the data is coming. Run and get command. Go to Mendix apps, synchronize the directory, update all widgets. So, so first, I'm going to create a file. Here is our app. Here you can see we are getting undefined because we didn't selected a file yet. So first go to profile overview. In this, I have created entity in the model called profile and the library system.file document entity here. So now I'm going to create an object of this file. Here, new file, browse, select, open, give anything, save one, save. So now we are going to give this file to our widget. How to do that? So put it a data view inside the data view, calling microclean, and this microclean retrieve from the database, select profile entity, and use first object and return this object. After this, put this widget inside the data view and now select the file object. Click OK. Now run your web again. Go to my Mendix browser, home. Now inspect and go to console. Yes, we are receiving an object. So inside object we are receiving two values, status and the value. Inside the value we are getting a URI and name. So we are using this URI. So go to your widget and here write in div and image tag URI. So I think this is not simple img and src. In src we will give file dot value dot URI. After that, alt text we will give file dot value dot name and close this and also anchor tag and here and web and then web you will give this file path and then download. Now we run npm build command. Go to Mendix, run your app again. Now go to browser. So here we can see our image and also the download. Click on download. So this image also downloaded. You can add some CSS also. So we have successfully learned how to use file property. Now we use all the 9 dynamic property in this series that Mendix provide custom widget. Understanding that help you build smarter. Now if this series helped you, make sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment and subscribe this channel so you stay updated with more Mendix tips. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Mendix Widget Workshop.